We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed, you left us out.
So as a result, I decided to, first of all, to stop or to give up that law office.
Yes.
I then applied for an Illinois license, practice law, which was granted, called reciprocity.
Okay.
And so I got that. I opened an office in Chicago. Now I'm trying to get the money back.
Yes.
But I ran into a guy named, he got in trouble real. I can't remember his name. He got in trouble. He introduced me to Badoliak, who also probably got in trouble. And
are these black men?
No, Badoliak.
That sounds Italian. Like
I have no idea what Badoliak is, but he
sounds Italian.
The guy Beavers, Willie. I think his last name is Beavers. He got into trouble, but anyway, it was on 79th. And so at that point, I decided that if I put my name on the ballot.
Yes.
So I put my name on the ballot, and I was beat by absentee ballots. I believe.
Are we talking in Gary or in
Chicago?
Chicago?
No,
in Gary.
In Gary.
What year was that?
1991.
You just put your name in the ballot.
Yes, but don't forget now. But I didn't tell you. I started with Doge Allen in 1971.
Yes.
I ran his political campaign.
Did you?
Yes. And I mean, you know, with others.
Absolutely, I understood.
But I was the head of his political team at that time. That lasted 20 years.
Wow.
And out of that, I learned as much as to what not to do as to do.
Yes.
I mean, he was the only person who was really ever any stronger than him in politics, really Richard Hatch.
Yes.
That's the only person. And at one point they were friends, and at the end they were friends, which is good. But
so you put your name on the ballot.
Put my name on the ballot.
Running for?
Councilman of the 4th District.
Councilman of the 4th District.
Yeah, there were 20 precincts. I won 14 precincts.
Did you?
Oh, they cheated. They really cheated. But I was able to, I knew they had. It was in absentee ballots. They got a whole bunch of absentee ballots.
Wow.
But the very next race was school board, first elected school board. So I ran for that. I knew I could look at their numbers. I need to see my numbers and knew I was winning all the precincts again.
Yes.
But they were not willing to go out and get these absentee ballots for that. So I won the school board. Matter of fact, Doge Allen was against me.
Really?
From that point forward, no one with a patronage base has ever supported me.
Really?
No mayor has ever supported me.
Really?
No, publicly. No mayor publicly.
Yes.
No trustee publicly. No assessor publicly. No commissioner publicly. What I just named was people with patronage system. None of these people ever spoke. Even including Mayor Jerome A. Prince.
Wow.
He didn't endorse me publicly. So no one has. But that didn't matter. I won 9 races. I really didn't need them. I have a committee of 1. And I never have to ask anyone what to do. Freedom has cost me a lot of money. I probably spent $250,000 of my own money.
Wow.
It cost me way more money than a normal person running. I spent an enormous amount of money running. But I make.
Do you think that because you are quite capable of doing so much, right? And you learned, according to what I'm hearing, from the best all your life, because you always happen to be the right place at the right time.
Right.
That maybe made you so independent to where I don't need anyone, I can do it on my own, that was a good or a bad thing.
Okay, watch that. I don't need anyone.
Right. No, I don't need anyone.
No,
but
I'm
I
just
can do it
saying,
on my
people
own.
will say that.
Yes.
That's like,
right.
what-
I'm just saying
what
I can do it on my own. Let's say that.
what happened?
Just straight question.
No, what happened is, I tell you how I learned.
Yes.
I listened
Yes.
and watched.
Yes.
They never knew, one person never knew I was learning and listening, was Doge Allen. He had no idea that I knew as much about, he knew I knew about certain things, especially
Yes.
politics, that I did a lot of things with common sense.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know I know as much. In let me get it straight, 2006, we had a telephone conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He said, when did you, about the township?
Yes.
And I kept explaining this, explaining that. He said, well, when did you know all of this?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I've been knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
You would ask me to do things that required me to understand
Yes.
what's underneath.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me a certificate, said I was a graduate of the Doge Allen University. Hold it. I framed it the same. I just, you know what, I'm going to bring it down here. I framed it the same as I framed all this stuff. Yeah. And I told him, I said, I far exceed what you, yeah, he asked me to communicate with his board.
Yes.
And as a result, I had to understand what they needed and what we could give them and what we could refuse.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is my reputation. People will call me arrogant. I really am not. I'm brash. I'm not arrogant. Inside of brash sometimes.
Yes. May seem arrogant-ish.
Yeah, but I'm not arrogant. I do not believe I'm better than the other person. But you can prove I am, though. You can do something. Oh, yeah. You leave me no doubt once I know who you are.
Yes.
But they call me that name. I just spend time trying to understand what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So he never knew.
Yes.
He never knew I knew as much. Mm-hmm. He knew I knew the law, and he knew I knew things about politics. Mm-hmm. But I knew his office.
Yes.
We talk on occasion now. He's 92. Mm-hmm. You know.
Is he in Gary?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he stayed out in Miller.
Okay.
Well, I always have to tell him, I advised you. You never advised me. I did. I advised him. Same thing with CT Business. Yes. They would ask me to do stuff.
And you were learning.
No, I learned.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I'm telling you, I said, think tank, if you're the smartest person in the room, you should leave the room.
Yes.
Unless you're teaching. Mm-hmm. I never had to leave the room in the think tank. No, I was young. I had the think tank 28, 29. They were much Calvin Lockridge from the Black Consortium was there. Archie Hargraves, Dr. Hargraves, Dr. C.T. Vivian, one guy from the National.
And I'm going to ask a question. Your think tank, right? Mm-hmm. What was it? What were you all thinking? What were you all putting together? What was the purpose of that? Of you all forming the think tank?
Okay, too? I didn't.
No, you right.
I didn't form it. Now it was formed.
It was formed
before I got there.
Okay.
What it was to help a thing called LSD, Lord Stone's and Disciple. In other words, where African Americans have a much larger economic, I guess, part of Chicago. Chicago.
Okay.
Old Man Daly was there when the think tank was formed. I used to. The think tank would meet with some people way beyond. I think they call them Chicago Council. So we were way beyond those people. Mm-hmm. Been in meetings with General Woods, who's the head of Sears.
Yes.
Ian Hyden, the head of Northwest Industries. I tell you, a guy used to call me at least once a month, maybe twice, was Walker. But this Walker, he became governor of Illinois.
Really?
Talking about he walked over, he went to jail too. He talking about he walked over Illinois. Jeff Fort once asked me to be a spokesman for the Black Peachstone Nation.
Really?
Yes. And I told I really didn't have the time. Then later on they became El Rukin. I mean, which it was funny. People thought Jeff Ford's brother thought they were a bad influence on him. Jeff ruled the Black Peace Stone Nation along with what was called the Main 21, but there was not 21 of them. Sengali was there. Somebody, then on the west side, when they did something that was funny that comes to mind. When Dr. King was killed, which I guess today is the day he was killed.
Was it today?
Yes.
Today's April 4th.
1968, really? Yes.
Oh, wow.
They had riots.
Prayer to his family.
They had all these riots in Chicago. But what they were after, I found out later, you would think on the west side, people wanted to come in there and they wanted to get something off the west side of Chicago. You will never figure out what that was.
Yes.
Most people thought they wanted the diamonds and all of that.
Yes.
They want none of that.
Yes.
All that's insured.
Yes.
They wanted paper.
Really?
There's more paper.
Really?
On the west side, at that point on the west side. They used that to make the Chicago Tribune, the New York Times.
They wanted paper.
They wanted the paper. So they had a guy named Doug Andrews from the Garfield organization. Doug and them would put steel inside of the bundle. So there's no telling. But they wanted paper.
Isn't that something?
They didn't want the jewelry. They didn't want the car.
Paper was more valuable.
No, everything else is insured. The paper is not insured.
It's insured, right.
They needed the paper. I mean, that they still may have that kind of requirement.
Yes.
But the paper was used for the Sun Times, the Chicago Tribune, the world.
Yes.
All this paper.
Don't
and that's
burn
what
the
they
paper.
had. Yeah, that caught them really off guard. But,
so, you ran for office, and give me the name of, tell me how many office, or what shall I say, positions, or
overall,
have you held overall?
Okay, I've held, okay. The first one I won was the school board, elected school board. Then I won.
That was prior to the schools being the way they are now,
right? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So school board position was a real school board, not what they have now.
No.
Exactly. Okay.
When I won was 92. No,
okay.
We might have had 28,000 students. It was a school board.
Yes.
First elected school board. I won after that. I won the Gary City Council at large. After that, I won, and now there are gaps of time.
Yes, absolutely.
After that, I won the Calumet Township Trustee Board. It's called the Calumet Township Board.
Right.
I won that, and I won that 3 times.
Yes.
So then the next race I won was I came back to the council.
Yes.
And won it. And I stayed on the council for 3 years. And I won Lake County Councilman District 2.
Yes.
I've won that where I am now. I've won committeeman. I think I may have run and won it twice.
Yes.
Then I won state delegate. I won it twice.
Did you?
Yes. I'm going to win it this time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
claim it, right?
I'm just going to win it.
Claim it.
Or they may not even want to run.
But let me just say, before we move on, what an accomplishment for someone born in Mississippi, you said, right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, but is it?
But I'm saying in the time that you were born, in the era that you were born.
My formal education.
Yes.
Quite high.
Yes. So I'm saying.
For a person born in 1940.
Yes. What an accomplishment. So I'm absolutely proud of that.
But I must give certainly other people credit. a domestic worker raised me
Yes.
and gave me a work ethic.
Yes. What was the domestic worker's name?
That's my mother. Ozzy, A-R-Z-Z-I-E. That's my email.
Yes.
So if people laugh, they laugh at my mother, but it don't matter to me.
Is she still alive?
My mother?
Yeah. No.
She would be 122 years old.
Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting her age because you don't look
Yeah,
her
I'm
age.
83.
You don't
No,
look her age.
no.
When did she pass?
1990.
Okay, sorry for that loss.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. My mother did not look as if she was 90 years old.
Yes.
She looked more like she was, I don't know, 60.
Yeah.
And she rode on an airplane one time too.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where did she go?
I think they went to Vegas.
Did
I
they?
got a cousin, a second cousin.
Mm-hmm.
She older than I am. She took out to Vegas.
Yeah.
But she was much younger than me. Not much younger. She was years younger than my mother. They went to Vegas.
And you said when you became an attorney at 30-something that you had her adopt you. Is that
No.
How did
I
you say
did
that?
it without her permission.
You did it without. How did that work?
It was easy. I asked her to sign.
And she signed.
I'm her son.
Yeah.
She just wasn't legally on paper.
Yes.
But she became legally on paper.
When you did that and she found out what you did, what was her reaction?
She didn't show much of a reaction.
Yeah.
Because
in her mind, you were always her son.
Yes. All I did was put it on.
Put on paper.
But let me show you how strange this adoption is. I can't remember how I got away with it. She entered no court.
Yes.
I'm not even sure I changed my birth certificate.
Yeah.
But I was not born out of wedlock until 1973. Now I was born in 1940.
Yeah.
My birth certificate. I had two birth certificates. Again, they get it confused sometimes. Not black folk, but other people get it confused. On one of my birth certificates, my father's was my grandfather.
Yeah.
In other words, my grandmother didn't want me born
out of wedlock. So
she put my granddad on
name on there. Somebody signed.
And he stayed on there until they required me to get a passport, even though I'd been through military services, Clorius, and all of that. I had to prove I was Clorius.
Yes.
So I rewrote my birth certificate, the requirements of my birth certificate, before I was an attorney.
Really?
Yes.
When you say you rewrote it, you meant you had to go and get it redone.
Well, I did it.
What do you mean you did it?
Well, I didn't. I didn't need a lawyer to do it. I could do it myself.
Really?
You don't go to law school and, let's say, become smart.
Yeah.
You're smart before you go. I could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was simple. So I went physically, called Jackson, Mississippi, asked them to send me the necessary documents. I completed the documents. Again, they didn't seem to care. I removed my grandfather's name.
Yes.
Made sure my name, so I was out of wedlock, and they issued a passport.
Wow.
See, they wouldn't issue me a passport initially until I made the same. I had a birth certificate that said my name was Clarence.
Really?
Yeah, it was wrong. So my one birth certificate said I wasn't born until 1948. Really? That meant I would have graduated from high school when I was 10. So I just had to correct.
You had to correct everything.
Yeah, I think somebody paid me. What did I charge them for that? I mean, maybe a couple of thousand. I just did it.
Yes.
I just did it. I did a couple of things before I was with you. Don't forget, I'm in a think tank. Attorneys report to me.
Yes.
Attorneys been reporting to me since I was at East Chicago Heights. I know two guys from Yale, which is the best law school in the country is Yale.
Yeah.
The second is Stanford. The third is University of Chicago. The fourth is your Harvard.
Yeah.
It's only fourth. So they reported me. I met with attorneys constantly at the think tank.
Yes.
Constantly at the think tank for various reasons. To put together a great deal of money was covered into the think tank.
Mhm.
And basically, I was responsible for that. So I met with attorneys
And
on
I
more
forgot-
than one occasion.
What day did you say your birthday was?
September 1st.
September 1st.
Yeah. You're trying to figure out when I'm Virgo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to jump forward.
I only got
Right. Okay. So, yes, you are Virgo. And so we are from Mississippi, born, raised in Gary, worked in Chicago, held many different positions. Now you're an attorney, and you're also the Lake County councilman for District 2.
That's correct.
Right? And you also, as we all know, we are in election season again, and you are running once again for that.
No,
you aren't?
No, I'm elected.
Oh, you're elected.
Yeah,
That's right.
running. I was elected.
I'm sorry.
November, I think it was November 8th, 2022.
If I can read this, I'm looking at, this is a political layup. I like layups. I like that.
That was given
twist.
to me by Richard Gray. That was in 1995 when I was running for Gary City Council at large. My number was 23, the same
Really?
as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. So we decided to use my name and then tie it back to basketball.
Yes, layups.
He gave me that idea.
That's I like to play on
But
the
that
name.
is, I do own this name. It's a
Absolutely.
business. It's actually a business.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I just want to read, if I may. It says, Attorney Clorius L. Lake County Councilman District 2. After I have reviewed and examined the candidates seeking the mayor's office or a seat on the Gary City Council, I am endorsing and highly recommending that you join me by voting for all three individuals on the front of your representative district council person and on the back. And if I may go down the list, I'm showing that you have openly endorsed. Let's do it again. Mayor Jerome Prince for re-election. Ronald Brewer Sr. for re-election. Darren Washington to retain. David Forsyth, for re-election. Dwight Williams, Sandra Ford, and Carl Witherspoon Jr., who is a new.
Right, all of those, when you get down to let's do it, all of those people are new.
Yes, and if you
Let
can
me
tell me
explain
your
the difference.
analogy.
Okay, the difference between re-elected, elected, and retained
Yes,
has to do with the person's relationship back to the council.
yes,
If you were previously on the council
yes,
prior to this May the 3rd, you put down re-elected if you're running.
yes.
If you were not there at all when you were running, you put down elected. If you
Yes.
got to the council through the precinct organization, you put down retained.
Okay.
So what's going on here? Now you missed two people because you'd have to go to the notes.
Okay.
I have endorsed William Godwin
Yes.
for re-election on the council at large. I have three: Brewer, Godwin, and Washington.
Yes.
And I also have Ty Atkins in the 4th district.
Yes.
I stay in the 4th, and I'm supporting her. I've endorsed her. Prior to this document, I endorsed her
Yes.
for re-election. Without explaining this,
Yes.
neither one wanted their name. I'm sorry, their picture on the document.
Absolutely.
They wanted me to do it, turn it over this year. I did it. I had to do it through this way.
Okay.
Did that make sense to me? Absolutely not.
No, but
But they are.
that was their wish.
I'm Godwin's mentor, and Ty sometimes called me Godfather. But,
If I can, and you know I'm going to ask, why are you supporting Mayor Jerome, for instance?
So I think he's done a good job. As a matter of fact, I wrote a whole thing on Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, of course, he's a much younger man than me.
Yes.
He has about 20 plus years in politics.
Uh-huh.
He was first elected Gary City Councilman, and he did that on his own. I was absolutely not supporting if he won that.
Really?
No, I didn't know him.
Yes.
I knew his mother. I had no idea who he was.
Yes.
He then became a Lake County councilman. He was in District 3, which must be Charlie Brown's district.
Okay.
He held that position. And then he moved from there to Lake County assessor.
Yes.
And I didn't support him for that position either. But it's not, he's a very hard-working individual.
Yes.
He ran for mayor.
Yes.
I didn't even support him for that position. But I didn't do anything against him. I gave Karen Freeman Wilson a vote.
Yes.
But that had nothing to do with her performance. That had to do with people that were supporting her.
Right.
These
Almost
same
loyalty?
people were supporting me.
Oh.
They were supporting me. So again, I couldn't, and I'm running at the same time.
Yes.
So it's common sense. Don't go against their candidate if they're supporting you.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are people around, let's say Eddie Melton,
Yes.
Senator Melton, who under normal circumstances would be supporting me. If I was running now, they wouldn't pay any attention. I tell you, a stranger, Karen Wilson, the former mayor, supported Al Machaka. I didn't. But again, if you don't like the other person, you have to take the other person.
Yes.
And she decides to do that. But I think Jerome is very effective and efficient communicator. He seems to be fair. You can't meet him and walk away believing that he's a bad person.
Yes.
I think sometimes he's blamed for things that was out of his control.
Yes.
I was on the council in 20 through 22.
Yes.
I won that position for the second time. And I certainly was not supported by Mayor Prince then, but I won. So my position has always been that you want to help Gary.
Yes.
Now the only way government can be effective is that the leadership, the executive is doing a good job.
Yes.
Now you just can't let him do what he wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I think he initially made some mistakes because he was human. It's in relationships that he made mistakes now.
Okay.
He didn't get along with certain members of the council because they came in as part of the Karen Wilson team.
Yes.
She left a couple of things there that was causing him a problem that I knew was bad because I had taken a look at it. But again, Godwin's is an attorney, but he don't have the legal experience that I have. So I went back and I looked at it. One was the CBA. That she had passed it through the Board of Works improperly. The other party was not on the contractual agreement. Only she was on that. That shouldn't exist.
Yes.
And that took some time.
What is the CBA?
Oh, when you use these names, it was where they were setting up something to take a look at anybody to come into the city as to what their relationship would be to the city. Conceptually, it wasn't bad.
Yes.
I constantly was against it because ownership seemed to have been one person. One person appointed these up, but that's not even worth discussing.
Just wanted to acronym.
Yeah.
What it was.
I know you asked me. Now I don't know. I absolutely know what CBA is.
Okay.
And so that triggered a problem. So as I watched the council develop, it was clear we had some very good people on the council.
Yes.
And no one's bad. People elected them, that's fine. But people that stood out initially on the council was Godwin,
Yes.
Ty Atkins,
Mm-hmm.
and Ron Brewer.
Yes.
The initial council was in the first district.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's first district. First one. Godwin. Since he's running at large, it's now
Yes.
confused.
Mm-hmm.
Godwin's first district. Second district was Cozy Witherspoon.
Yes.
Third district was Mary Brown. Fourth district was Ty Atkins.
Mm-hmm.
The fifth.
Karen,
Who was in the fifth?
the person that's now still running against school.
I'm sorry, Linda Barnes. Caldwell was fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth was Wright Williams. At large was Brewer, myself, and Brown.
Okay.
Now that was the initial count. The people that I knew doing a good job,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, just sitting back looking at them, was Godwin, Atkins, and Brewer.
Yes.
The rest of them didn't do a bad job, but these three stood way above,
Yes.
way above the others. So Godwin became president. He was actually vice president, acting for the president.
Yes.
And he's young, he's smart now.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime, once he makes his mind up, he's very aggressive.
Yes.
And so he and Prince was clashing.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that Prince did in the beginning, we would get information by reading the newspaper, things that he was doing. But I think that was his staff.
Mm-hmm.
An elected official has to satisfy thousands of people.
Yes.
An appointed official only has to satisfy the source of appointment.
Okay.
They can be really stupid, but as long as the appointment don't think they're stupid.
Yes.
So we were involved in another argument that made no sense to me, and that was the position of deputy mayor.
Mm-hmm.
They did it wrong. Their president did it absolutely wrong. And I indicated to them that issue should have come to the council for them to, in fact, change the name, if that's what he wanted to do, from the chief of staff to executive, to deputy mayor. He didn't do it that way.
Okay.
He changed the name.
Mm-hmm.
And
But prior to that, the deputy mayor's title was chief of staff?
no,
What did
prior
you say?
to that,
What was the deputy?
I represented the council. Everywhere I've ever been, I represented these people as a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in 2012,
Mm-hmm.
let me get it straight. Karen was elected in 2011. She took the office 2012.
Mm-hmm.
She had a deputy mayor.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In 2013, she got rid of the deputy mayor.
Mm.
What my advice to the council was to zero out that position.
Mm.
I didn't tell them to remove the name. I thought if you zero the position, no one would ever try to do anything with zero. Well, their Prince did.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we were engaged in an argument that basically lasted from 2020 to January 1, let's say 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And that issue's over a deputy mayor. And I think the way they did it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely wrong. They should have come to the council first. They changed, and that triggered a very long lawsuit. It was a lawsuit over the CBA. I'm trying to think of that too. A lawsuit over the CBA and a lawsuit over the deputy mayor's position. In other words, he wanted to make Attorney Trent McCain deputy mayor. Attorney Trent McCain wanted to make himself deputy mayor. And as a result, that triggered a very long argument.
Yeah. I have a question. If, when Karen was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not even sure if it was prior to her being mayor, has there always been a deputy mayor position?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the position was always there. you all just zeroed it out, right?
No, she dropped the position.
She dropped the position.
Yes, in 2013.
Did she have a right to do that?
Of course. The mayor sets up the budget.
Right.
Yeah.
She dropped the position.
Yes, she didn't want to hire anybody. See,
But the position, it was even though she dropped. I'm trying to understand. Even though she dropped the position, it was still a position that could have been reinforced or reestablished.
Yes, but
right?
the council would do it. The mayor can't reestablish the position. The council has to do it. The mayor can't wake up one morning and start naming all these positions.
Okay.
We appropriate money in the budget.
Right.
There's no salary for the position deputy mayor.
Okay.
Mayor Hatcher did something much earlier in time. He created the position of detective. Okay, that position didn't exist. So if you name them detective, how do they get paid? There's nothing to pay them. Right. Matter of fact, I argued that in court and won that. I mean, he can't do that, the executive.
Okay.
The way to do it is to come to the council and say, one, you want, basically he needed a name change. But they didn't do it that way. Okay. They announced in the Times that we had a new deputy mayor. Okay. When I first became aware of it, before when I said, that's wrong. But of course, my advice was free and they ignored it. But their failure to do that created a problem. Okay. And the council was right about that we shouldn't read in the newspaper what Mr. McCain was corporation counsel. So he moved from corporation counsel to deputy mayor, and the second person in the law department, Rodney Poe, moved up to corporation counsel. Rodney Poe is our attorney. Along with we can hire another one too, but he basically is the attorney for the city. That means he sort of represent both people, but he hired by the mayor. So I know where the loyalty is with the mayor. So when he did that, he did it wrong.
Okay.
Now,
and that's a conversation that you and him had.
Now I had no conversation
after
with the
it was
mayor.
done.
No, I had a conversation with Mr. McCain. I told him it was wrong. He was corporation counsel. I didn't call the mayor about it, that it shouldn't be done. And he did it, but that triggered an argument. Okay. Oh, what is this CBA? Oh, Jesus.
They come to you.
Old ladies do
okay.
that. Every time you lose a lot of things with old age. But anyway, that triggered a problem. We argued that position until the budget of 2023, which had been in October. Really? We even had a lawsuit.
Really?
Yes, we had a lawsuit on the CBA. They sued us on the CBA. The council was attempting under the CBA to hire someone. The council has no authority to hire unless it's in the statute. Oh, wow. And people don't fully understand this. The legislative branches in the cities are not constitutional. They're statutory. So if you can't find it in the statute, you basically can't do it. So they were trying to hire a person to look at how the business community, people coming in asking for tax abatement and things of that nature.
That's what the council was trying to do.
Yes, yes. And of course they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Previous administration had allowed them to do certain things that they couldn't do, especially former mayor, Karen Freeman Wilson. They couldn't do that. They could not hire that person. Which I told them, I think the statute is 36, Indiana Code 36-4-4-4. I believe that's the statute. I'm positive it's the statute. I wouldn't take a chance to say it if that wasn't the right statute. Said you can't do it. Yeah. And but by the time the council was somewhat convinced you couldn't do it, they were involved in a lawsuit. Wow. So then they sued under the deputy mayor because he couldn't do what he was doing.
So each
Yeah.
side had a
He
lawsuit.
used a statute that is a bad statute in the state of Indiana. I've known about it for over 20 years. But again, I studied statutes because I represented all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that if the council does something under A and B, the mayor under C can object and do the complete opposite. That statute is bad. It's been bad.
It's almost like the president can
Well,
like the
you
president of
should.
the United States can like Trump used to do,
Yeah.
like
Right.
veto stuff and just make
No,
the
it's
decision.
beyond the veto.
Not veto. You know what's the word?
You can just do it.
Do
You
it,
just
right.
things. But anyway, the
Right.
statute was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so the lawsuit was about statute. Now at the end, they agreed to drop both lawsuits.
Yes.
Well, I think the lawsuit concerning that statute should have been pursued myself. Because if that statute in fact is correct, which is not, you don't have any need for legislative government in this state. So it's just something got put in the law and no one is taking issue
No one's
with it.
questioned it.
Yeah, we came close, but they were not questioning what they should have
Right.
questioned. The council was.
Mm-hmm.
They were questioning, was he interpreting the law correct? He absolutely interpreted the law correctly.
Yeah.
Just shouldn't have existed.
Okay.
So that took us until budget going into 23.
Wow.
What I was attempting to do was be the middle person between the council and the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
No real benefit to doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I was older and very few things really upset me.
Mm-hmm.
When they do, I respond in a slightly different way.
Mm-hmm.
And so he asked me would I support him having a deputy mayor
Mm-hmm.
and a chief of staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that sometimes people will agree that don't have to talk to each other. Because I had been constantly trying to get him and Godwin together. I felt
Yes.
if they really talked,
Yeah.
really open, they wouldn't be that far apart, not really.
Yes.
But they were so far apart. I think Godwin wanted to fight more
Yeah.
than Prince did.
When
Well, the man
he's-
on top don't
Yeah,
have
so
to
have
fight. He's
to
fighting
fight.
downhill.
Yes,
The other
he's
guy
got
fighting
fighting
uphill. It's
Yes.
hard to fight uphill.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I advised him the first person I would talk to would be William Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I get along great. That's how I can support
Mm-hmm.
both people. And I'll be clear, he's not supporting William Godwin. And he's not supporting Ty Atkins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in other words, he can't vote for Ty, but he's just not supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't seem to hold grudges. And that's the other thing about him. I mean,
Yes.
he's open, he's positive, he's a very understanding person. He got married when he was quite young.
Yeah, 18.
He has 4 children, 11 grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
He's been married over 40 years.
Yes.
Most of the time I forget his age, I can probably calculate. He went to, like me, he went to the service immediately upon graduating.
Yeah. And that has a lot to do, even in speaking with you, speaking with the mayor, even when I spoke to Boggs, the character.
Oh yeah, he's
the,
very
the,
strong.
the character that you all display. I'm not saying that people that don't have military training don't have good characters, but there's certain ethics and rules and accountability that you all have that comes, in my opinion, from that military training. You know, that we do things because it has to be done. If there's a mission, it has to be completed.
Well, if
it's
you
stuff
look at
like
him,
that.
he didn't have much of a young adulthood or
Right.
childhood, however
That's
you
right.
want to phrase
Mhm.
it, because he got married. He immediately went to the military. As a matter of fact, he stayed 4 years in the United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I went to the Air Force. He probably don't think I went to military service. That I had a job. I went to school or something.
Yes.
But he's quite positive.
Mm-hmm.
He's a strong personality now.
Yes.
He's very strong. But what we're able to do, and this is the truth, you hear people, we're able to disagree without being disagreeable.
Absolutely. And
I also understand our positions.
Yes.
He is at the top of the pyramid.
Yes.
I'm somewhere not at the top
Yes.
of the pyramid. So it was quite easy when I was, at the time, I decided I was going to support him.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Melton was not a candidate,
Yes.
nor did I believe he would be a candidate.
Yes.
And I had absolutely good information, and I'll just
Yes.
say it that
Mm-hmm.
way, irrefutable information that
Yes.
he would not be a candidate. So I told the mayor, I'm not sure he would talk to me as if I was supporting him,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't recall him ever asking me
Yes.
directly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. When we would meet, I was running in 22
Mm-hmm.
for Lake County Council District 2.
Mm-hmm.
He had another candidate, I think his favorite candidate was that's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
She had been his deputy in the sessions office. That's Latanya Spearman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure had he openly endorsed me, she may have had problems. That part of the politics of his, I was aware. We had a discussion
Yes.
about whether he would endorse me or not. We both agreed he didn't have to.
Yes.
No mayor has ever endorsed me, so I didn't think I needed a mayor or trustee or commissioner. None of them. They've never endorsed me publicly. So he and I discussed that. So we came to, an agreement on that. So I read, and after that, somewhere before I won, we had a meeting. It's a restaurant on 74th. It's Stelio or something like it's a side chain. Well, it could be Greek. No, I believe it's Italian. And at that time, I certainly told him I would support him for mayor.
Yes.
Without saying that you now have to support me.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't do nothing. I made it clear now. You can't support this other person.
Yes.
But as long as you don't do that, I understood. Mr. Spearman, that was his candidate. So, he's a very interesting person to talk to. We talked this morning around 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much talk every day.
Yeah. Some
of us don't really. If we didn't talk that day, it wouldn't be much. But I guess we've gotten used to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, he's been positive and honest and understanding to me.
Mm-hmm.
His skills and ability and experience he acquired through 20 plus years of elected service.
Absolutely.
You don't always have to. Now, he does not possess a college degree, but I can give you some names that I listen to.
Yes.
I can't think of an attorney I listen to. Really listen to. Maybe the attorney Henry Walker in Chicago would probably take some advice from Richard Hatcher, but most of them I didn't pay that much attention. I listened. I shouldn't say I didn't listen.
Yes.
I just didn't apply what they told me. But I listened to people like Dozier Allen. I won't name some names you don't know.
Yes.
Sonny Peterson, Adrian Goodall, Winston Bird. Some of those people you might not invite in your house.
Yeah.
Chris Zacharias, Doc James. Over the years, these were people older than me. Again, James Shaw, these were people down. Jimmy Dent, these were people down. I don't think you had them all together. They had a college education.
Yes.
But informal education.
Yes.
Far exceed a degree.
A degree, absolutely.
Yeah, if you stay here long
absolutely.
enough. My mother had way more knowledge, and I listened to her but she had no real education. But
Right.
she could take $7 a week and rear 2 children. I didn't do it.
Exactly.
I couldn't do it on 7,000. You know.
My grandmother didn't have a college education per se, but she was a trained Red Cross nurse, and she was one of the smartest people I knew.
Oh, my grandmother
And she
went.
raised 6 kids
No,
on her
my
own.
grandmother went back to Africa in 1920.
Really?
She wrote her obituary when she was 7. Started writing her obituary at 17. She didn't die till she was 92.
Really?
Oh yeah, when she got a cold, everybody in the country had a cold. It was, she had 160. When she died, 162 people called her mother at one level. or another.
Wow.
And somehow I also tied back down. I used to think that I tied back to Katie,
Yes.
the Green. Our family just knew each other for
Yes.
100 and some years.
Mhm.
We were no good. But we somehow tie back to the Staples Singers. I'm not altogether clear on that.
Yes.
And I probably have taken more advice from people that probably didn't walk through a college.
Yes.
So I put education in its proper place.
Yes. I don't
It,
think
it's a passport.
exactly.
It's a passport.
And I certainly don't think holding, in my opinion, holding a college degree or not determines
This may be-
determines the kind of a leader a person can be. Whether it be mayoral on a job, you know, in a company. You have some that start from the bottom and work their way all the way to the top without a college
Oh yeah, but
degree.
it just takes them so much longer. In other
That's-
words,
that's
the
true.
door is open.
Absolutely.
It's possible for you to learn in a single area as much as anyone with a degree, because when you go to college, they say, well, read chapter 1, 2, and 3, skip 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yes.
Well, there's no reason when you go back and look at it
Yeah.
to skip 4, 5, 6, and 7. And law school is one thing where you don't learn a great deal. People
Yeah.
think you do, but not really. You probably are better situated with an MBA
Yeah.
because you can specialize. You cannot specialize in law school. You're going to take maybe 25 subjects.
Now, let's talk about Ronald Brewer.
Well, Ron, Ron is. I've helped Ron. I'm trying to figure out when Ron first went on the council. I may have. I think Ron first went on in 2004. I could be wrong, but I've helped him all the way through. In 2015, let me just come forward.
Right.
I
You
supported
supported him.
him and Kyle Allen for the same position, doing this, putting
Really?
it all on the same.
For the same position.
And people just got absolutely upset. They went along with it because I told them, I can't do this twice. And they were running at large.
Yes.
I can't do it twice. I said, if you will agree, I'll put you both on the same card. Now, so what happens is time. Nobody disagrees to this.
Yes.
There's 3 there now.
Yes.
They didn't want to be there with 2. Of course, they both prevailed. They won. So, but Brewer is a guy that has worked himself up, I guess, pull yourself up from bootstraps.
Yes.
He's very knowledgeable about city government.
Extremely.
He uses a slightly different way of campaigning. Brewer appears everywhere.
Yes.
You know, he
absolutely.
He goes to everything, and
he stays connected.
yes.
He stays connected.
Which in local politics, or they say all politics, that's great. I don't think you can do that trying to go to another level beyond local politics. I don't think you can go to the Congress with that style. It would be really hard.
Obama certainly did.
No.
He made it to presidency.
No,
Obama kept his feet on the ground. He
was. Wait a minute. Obama, and I endorsed him first. Other people were still messing around with
Clinton.
No, Clinton. Matter of fact, I lost respect for who is the? I'm part of the Institute of the Black World too. Maya Angelou.
Really?
She gonna tell me she going with Clinton because they're female. That's insane. If you see a pregnant woman coming down the street who's black, you know exactly one important fact about that baby. It's black.
Yes.
She's still pregnant. And she don't know that she's female. But anyway, Obama had two things behind his name now. Graduate and Harvard. Yes. Obama also was a U.S. Senator. When he ran against Bobby Rush for Congress, Bobby Rush beat him to death over in Chicago. He lost.
But look where he started, though. What I'm saying is, he was very engaged in the city of Chicago, the things that he did before he rised up.
No, when he came to Chicago, he had graduated from Columbia University.
Exactly.
Obama never was without certain credentials. Part of his expertise. And I volunteered to work with his campaign staff. They thought, I sent my resume, it's fairly accessible. They thought I was looking for money. I had never worked with the guy. I didn't try to work with Jesse Jackson or the first lady that ran for president. But I saw something in him.
Yes.
I mean, I still have the greatest, same way I have the greatest of respect for Richard Hatcher, the greatest of respect for Obama, and also George Allen in politics. They were different, and it showed up. Though Obama didn't pull himself up by the bootstrap in politics.
Okay.
He came to Chicago, and he became active as a community organizer with the purpose, of running in politics.
Yes. He was strategic.
Yeah. So, basically, Brewer's not an organizer. I'm on the lack of a better word. He's an attendee. He attends every church function. He headed up the city cleanup.
Yeah.
He's very active with people.
He knows a lot of people. He knows
a
lot of people.
A lot of people know him.
That are beneficial to Gary.
Right. Well, it's not so. He knows.
When I say beneficial, that
he knows people that can't do anything for Gary but be good citizens. He really knows a lot of people, and a lot of people know him. I do not have nowhere near the public contact that Brewer has. Because we do different things. I wouldn't be able to do that. But I certainly have no problem with supporting Ron. And we talk.
I like Ron. I admire him. I hope he
well,
wins.
it's hard to dislike him. I mean, he's smiling all the time. I never smile, but I'm never mad about anything. But I don't smile. I don't know why. Yeah, I've supported Ron, and we'll continue to support him. We're supporting him here.
And of course, everyone else, the person that I want to talk about is Carl Witherspoon Jr.
Now they're gonna think I told you to go there.
Really?
They would think that because
no.
that's my candidate.
Yeah, I absolutely want to talk about this young man right here because he's young, he's active.
Well, let's combine him.
And I want you to tell me why you are supporting him.
Okay, 8 years ago, it's very funny. He was speaking at a caucus, and 8 years ago, during his speaking, he took his coat off. Now, you remember, I come from corporate headquarters, bank. I was vice president of the bank. We never removed our coats.
Yes.
Like you said, well, be comfortable.
Yes.
Well, I'm comfortable the way I'm dressed.
Yes.
Just in the other way, even if it was a nice sweater, I'm not as comfortable.
Yes.
So I walked up to him and I said, listen, you should not remove your coat. If you start, don't put it on when you start.
Yes.
Don't remove it because it causes people to watch what you're doing.
Yes.
As to what you were saying. Well, needless to say, he got beat rather bad. But every time I would be running, he would try to help me. But our committee really is a committee of one.
Yes.
I invited Ty Atkins to join it, and she laughed out loud. She thought I was joking. Yeah, my daughter was my honorary campaign manager for the Committee of One. Carl is extremely hardworking. Extremely hardworking. He's employed by the Chicago Cubs.
Yes.
He's an assistant. Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an assistant director of logistics for the Cubs. He belongs to the Kappas. I mean, he has an excellent background. But the one thing that drew him to me was how he treats his daughter.
Yes.
My daughter, absolutely, just like I told you, we stopped this interview so I go pick up my grandson. And I told you that my grandson's my best friend, although people laugh at it.
Yes, and I believe
And he told me today he wants to be a doctor. He used to want to drive a train and put a lot of money in trains. He got some trains you shouldn't have for another 7 years because he wanted to train. But going back to Carl, Carl is
the way he treats his daughter.
Yes, he has a tremendous relationship with his daughter. Part of his campaign literature, I don't have any with him, is a letter from his daughter. And she wrote the letter. She's, I believe she's 15, I know she's a freshman, I believe she's 15 years old, going into her sophomore year. She's going to complete.
I read the letter. It was awesome.
Yeah, she read the letter, and she struck me as same as my daughter. My daughter, I understand that her parents were a safety net. We allowed her to make, decisions, and all that she made have not been good. She made a very bad decision in school, but I won't want to bring that up. I'll get in trouble.
Yes.
Because, if she happens to click on this accidentally. But that was very impressive to me.
Yes.
And he still have that relationship. Rarely does Carl have any free time.
Really. And he does a lot with the youth and children.
Yes,
does a lot in the summer he spent.
Oh, he belongs to several things. I would do him an injustice if I tried to repeat what he's done.
Yes.
But he's part of food banks. People like Carl.
Yes.
He's out there campaigning.
And I think he's going to do a lot for the 5th district because he has vision as well.
But yes,
he has the vision.
If he wins,
and if he wins, I'll say when he wins because I truly hope
that
he wins.
I won't contradict you. I think when he wins.
I truly hope that he wins because sometimes, I do believe there's always time for change.
Well, I think the thing also, Carl, certain things he don't know how to do now. So when I became involved, it does change the complexity of the race. And I'll be fair.
Always learn.
Councilwoman Caldwell supported my opponent, so it was easy when he asked me to support him.
Yes.
Because he had offered to support me at various states, not only in the last race, but every race. I think a couple of times he made a small contribution, which didn't affect my win or loss, but in most cases I was winning, was the fact that he was willing to do it.
Yes.
And he's young. Most people say that I haven't participated with young people. That's untrue.
Yes.
Godwin was young. Well, let me pass. Godwin's in office. Brewer, Kyle Allen. I've helped Kim Robinson. She's, of course, I've been her attorney. She's hired me, but I helped her. The last person that I really helped was Alyssa Bourne when she ran for Congress. I was probably the only present elected official that endorsed her.
Really?
Locally, yes.
Yes.
I'm on the thing with Claiborne and the rest of them, but I did a great deal of work for her.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. She was young. Did I think she could win? I sure didn't. I'll show you how I got tricked into that race. But you have to, if I give you my word, and two people think, I don't care if they call me there, they will say, if you get my word, you can go to bed with it.
Yes.
And that when I give it, I'll keep it. Even if I decide I'm going to change it the next day. I learned that from a gambler.
Yes.
I learned that from a gambler. You give your word, you keep it.
That's right.
That's all you got.
That's what my grandmother
But
told
she
me.
ran against Charlie Brown, who's now in the Lake County Council, and I was in Maryville, and she came up and she says, can you support me? I said, no, I can't. I said, I don't think you can win. Yes, I'm gonna be truthful. She has too high name recognition, and you're in the district, but you're not at this time in Gary. I said, but Ron, I said, I can't vote for either one of you, but I don't think you win. I said, but I tell you what, now she's staying in Maryville. I said, the next time you run, I'll come in. What I do, run your campaign, or assist her run your campaign at no expense. But I didn't make it specifically to Maryville. I talked, but I understood I was talking about Maryville.
Yes.
I didn't think she'd go to California and I'd go out there to help her. So the next thing I know, we were sitting in a restaurant, Geno's, out in Maryville.
Yes.
Now I came in there. Why did I come in? I came in there to talk to a guy I'd been friends with. He's very ill now. Lorenzo Arredondo. We've been friends over 60-something years from undergraduate school. And she was there at the same table, but at a different table. And she come over, she said, I was reminded you said you would support me. I said, yeah, I will. I said, what you running for? I said, United States Congress. I said, what? I never told her. But I made a mistake. I gave her my word.
Words, you had to keep it.
Yes. So I went to work for her. You have people locally said she paid me. She didn't pay me a dime.
Yeah.
Neither are these people.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Because did you do this from?
Yep. I think they
Because
deserve
you
to be there.
deserve to be there.
They deserve to be there. Plus, I'm an attorney. It's not bad to have people that, as well as elected people that support it. And they supported me. Let's see, Godwin did. Brewer did. Washington in his way, but he was not the same. Williams, Ty Atkins, Carl Witherspoon. And there was a Jackie White, but she decided not to run. So they all support me. So if I take their support, then I should get the support. Anybody I'm not, just like I'm not in the 3rd district because no one really supported me over there. They didn't support me.
We're
Well, let me say this. Although you said I'll ever help you,
go right ahead.
what I've done between these two things, the first one I mailed over 63,000 items.
Did you?
Yes, I'm supporting 10 people.
Yes.
9 people. 9 people. I'm supporting the mayor, Brewer, Godwin, Washington, David Fawcett, Ty Atkins, Williams, and Sandra Ford out in the 1st district.
Isn't that something? That's my first name is Sandra. My maiden name is Ford.
Yeah, but your name is Sandra. I used to call her Sandra.
Yeah.
But her name is Sandra.
And my maiden name is Ford with an E.
Oh, is that right? And then you, of course, you got Carl, and I really they all seem to be working very hard. Sometimes in a different style.
Yes.
But I think Sandra Ford is following the exact same thing that I recommended her to do. But out there, there's a problem. The person first on the ticket is a white gentleman.
Yeah.
David something.
Yes, I forgot his name.
Gearman, I believe, Gearman. and everyone
Because
else.
District 1 is
Miller.
Miller.
And then you got MacArthur, Drake, Jackie Lee, Lori Latham, Sandra Ford, and Taliban. So in the past,
Stay tuned for the next episode as our host Sandra continues her conversation with attorney Clorius L.A. in part 2.
He won by 200 votes. But if he'd have
We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You like the fast life, you like to drive and get down and dirty, act like the bad guy. You want some love, me like when you feel like calling at midnight. You got the best of me, you got me losing sleep. I've been hopeful, baby, I was hoping maybe that you'd cross my path. I've been sinking lately, and it's hard to move. Think I'm stuck on you. We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. I wonder, would you love me better if I go? I'm not home. I wonder, can we trust the stars above to let us know how to go? We only got this life, no guarantees and stars align. Follow your passion trail and try to keep an open mind. Hiding it by myself, no guarantees you'll find me. Said if it's faith you'll find me, leaving the past behind. We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. I wonder, would you love me better if I go? I'm not home. I wanna know, can we trust the stars above to let us know how to go?
was Rogers. Well, let's put this in. Her mother's name was Carolyn Rogers.
Yes.
I represented Carolyn. That's when you get. I represented Carolyn's parents.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I really both her mother and father.
Isn't that something?
And so, I mean, she's a very pleasant and nice. She just is, taking on a very thoroughbred in politics. Just highly organized. The white, in his style,
He's pretty organized.
he told me he's going to put enough people on the poll to win. I said, if you put any more out there, the other people can't work. And we've already talked about Sandra.
Yeah.
Carl works.
Mm-hmm.
If he win it, and I think he will, he deserves it.
Yeah,
He's
he
working.
deserves it.
I took no position in the third district.
No position in the third district.
Oh, there's. I'll let it go, but I didn't. I should have gotten support out there, but I didn't. But
Yes.
that's it. I took no position. So that basically, and needless to say, I got one more. I mailed 60. Well, I mailed close to 70,000 items.
And I thank you. I thank you.
And I got another. I'm going to endorse the mayor specifically in the third district because I don't have a candidate. I'm going in there specifically.
Outstanding. I thank you. As everyone already knows, I personally support the mayor. I like, in my opinion, I like everything he represents. I like everything he does. I like the vision that he has, and I do believe that if he gets the support and the people behind him, to do the things that he has envision for Gary, and the citizens of Gary, that we will have a really good up and coming 4 years.
Oh, I think it's going to be a complete change.
Absolutely.
Between his relationship back to the council.
Yes.
And
that's for the better. You want to say, right?
Yes, because I think he now, okay, they're in a squabble. This squabble will be settled May the 2nd.
Absolutely.
It will be settled one way or the other. I certainly believe he will still be the mayor.
Absolutely.
I think some people that he may call his nemesis, they will be reelected. They will be there, and I believe.
They're gonna have to come together.
Oh yeah.
That's Sunday will.
Yeah. They're not going to fight for 4 more years.
No.
No, they're not.
Not when the most important thing are the people of Gary and the citizens of Gary.
I think all of them basically want the best for the city of Gary.
Right, I believe so.
It's the fact they approach it differently.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, as I told you, I can forgive the manner in which you approach.
Yes.
You got to do it their way because that's the only way.
Yes.
That's not
so.
I just think it takes you maybe a little bit longer your way.
But there's only one leader.
I
don't mean leader. I mean the mayor is the mayor. And yes, I don't think that he doesn't listen, in my opinion.
But in order to lead, he has to listen to those beneath him.
I believe he does.
Here's how you determine a leader. You look behind him and see who behind him.
That's right.
If nobody beats a self-anointed leader, it's nobody. No, in some cases he will have to, just like if...
you don't think he listens to...
Yes.
He may not agree with everything, but I believe he listens.
He has his prejudice. Now, I talk to him. He really does.
And everyone does, right? Because we're all human.
But you don't even have to go into human. If you take a look at the Last Supper, I wouldn't have appointed none of those 12 people. What are you talking about? Everybody did something crazy.
Exactly.
And the Lord knew that.
Absolutely.
What he's going to have, he is the mayor.
That's right.
So he is going to have to relinquish. You can't go in a room and your son is in the room and say, let's now talk father to son. You've already reduced the person. So when he's going to talk to them, he's going to have to talk as an elected official. I think he's prepared to do that. And again, they will accomplish, I believe, a great deal more.
So.
I think it's a good council. He's made some appointments that can be questioned, how they came into existence and what they do. That certainly is his authority to do it.
Yes.
But and he's aware of things that people he's appointed. I wouldn't have appointed him. But I don't hold that against him at the time. I guess it's the best we could see. I wouldn't do it. So, no, I think at that point, I think they're going to do very well.
Yeah.
They still got most of this ARC money to be used. I think the city, contrary to what some people say, I think the city is better off right now.
I've heard that
than
several times.
Than it was in 2019, 18.
Yes.
I really do.
I've heard that from several
I think it's
elderly and people that live in Gary said the same thing, that the best they've ever seen the city, even like right now. Not the best since the year that you've given me.
Yeah.
Not overall since the previous administration.
But don't forget, he was held hostage by COVID in 2000
for almost a year and a bit.
Yeah. Well, basically, we think it started in 2020, but it's called 19.
Yeah.
It had started.
It actually did.
It didn't hit here, and so even the council itself, we didn't meet.
That's right.
We virtual learning. I had to learn how to come on the internet. I didn't know how to do that.
That was a trying time. Everyone thinks that's an excuse,
so that
but
went
it's
on
not.
all of 20. The governor kept extending his executive order all of 20, But we didn't get the Colbert money until 2019. I'm sorry,
2021.
21. We got around March of 21. So that's when it was passed. So no, I think the city, and I think they should continue. I guess the words of Jomo Kenyatta. Why would you replace something of value that may have lesser value?
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
Thank you, and I like that analogy.
Oh, I think, I basically think all of these people should be put in. I looked at everyone running.
Yes.
And I can't think of anyone
And
in the large race. They got a very nice young guy, and I have nothing bad to say about him, Mark Spencer. But I think you'd be better off retaining your three for the time being. Your three at-large members. They're not bad.
yes.
When I look at every other race, I certainly would rather have Ford. Is there any way I can answer?
Yes, sir.
We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances?